Veer, I would like to know more about your company and right from, when did it start? Who were the founders of the company? What was the whole idea and philosophy behind, launching this company?
Our parent company is Jivraj Tea. We are in this industry since the last 80 plus years. My great grandfather, his name is Jivraj. He started the company. My grandfather and my father, they have expanded the company. We are primarily into tea and only tea. I started Samara brand before 2 years. So Samara is my daughter's name. So I have introduced the brand on her name. We are currently present in more than 25 countries, and we have just started to sell domestically via e-com channels. We are primarily targeting the D2C part of the industry for tea.
You're a third generation entrepreneur. How
Yeah.
easy or how difficult it is to take up a family business and create another brand within it? Why I'm asking this is, I'm a first generation entrepreneur and
Right.
challenges, right? I mean, there's,
Right.
there's very little you can get as a virasat, from your family. You understand
Yeah.
how to do the business, right? In your case, you
Yeah.
learned a lot from your family, but then probably,
Yeah.
as I see it, having spoken to many entrepreneurs, I also see that there is it comes also with a sword, which is parents having their own thought process, they having their own, or parents or grandparents, they have their own way of doing business. So, as a third generation entrepreneur, what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages of starting a business within the same domain and starting a different brand like you started and then building it up?
Biggest advantage that I have in starting the brand is knowing the ins and outs of the tea industry. So tea is it's like an agricultural produce, obviously, but it has its highs and lows. It depends upon different seasons, and it's the art is the blend. The blending is the art. So in our company, me, my father, we only do the tasting. We only set the blend. We have all the positions for all the people everywhere in the company, but tasting and buying is something that we have reserved for ourselves. Because in our industry, we say, we book the profits on our buying. We never book our profits on sales, right? So tasting and blending is something that we've kept with us, and it is what we do. Uh, the biggest disadvantage is, it's like how to synergize both the brands. Jivraj being a parent company and Samara being a new entrant. So bridging the synergies is a challenging task. We are trying to synergize both the brands in a different aspect altogether. So we've projected Samara as a new age brand, a youth brand. All our competitors currently are targeting to the elder audience or to a more matured audience. What we want to do with Samara is we want to target the youth, the younger generation who are just going into buying tea. So we are developing a youth brand, and in international markets, a lot of Indian brands are struggling to get pure Assam teas into the market. So one of our biggest USPs is we are 100% pure Assam tea blends in our CTCT, which is our fastest moving. So we use only 100% Assam teas. So we saw a gap in the international market wherein there was no availability of Assam teas. There was a mixture of Kenyan teas and South Indian teas, Doa's teas, but there was no premium 100% Assam tea. So that is where we thought we will put in Samara into that space, and let's try to bring customers to 100% pure Assam tea. By God's grace, we are doing good.
Great. See, you made a very interesting point. You said Samara tea is going to be the brand for the youth. When it
Yeah.
comes to sports shoes, jeans, shirt, वो तो समझ में आता है कि आपने youth के लिए बनाया.
हाँ.
चाय में youth के लिए कैसे बनाओगे? I
जी.
mean, how would you blend a tea for a youth?
We don't blend the tea for youth. We are projecting the teas to the younger audiences. So something like coffee. So like coffee targets all the new age and the young people. Wherein in tea we see we are all the brands are catering to a much matured audience. No one is trying to cater to the youth and start from the youth. So we are trying to bridge in that gap. We are launching a couple of products we have it in the pipeline that are going to target more and more youth. So that is how we want to target them.
So let me understand this. Uh, as you said, you keep all the purchasing and the tasting of tea, within inside, family. Is there a
Yeah.
different taste that youth prefer when you compare with, let's say, 50 plus or 60 plus, the senior citizens?
The tea the youth prefers, the elder prefers is the same. There's no change in the youth having a different kind of tea. It's a perception towards the brand that is very important, and that I think most of the matured brands have gone to a matured audience. There's no one who's trying to target the youth or talk to the youth in their language basically. If you see all the campaigns, the advertising, or the kind of content they are putting out, everyone is talking about relationships and and XYZ. No one is talking about what is going on currently, the youth, the the problems, the solutions the youth want, and that is how we are projecting Samara to be that.
So basically, what you're saying is the youth, instead of saying let's go on a date, coffee date, they're rather saying let's go.
Yeah, yes. Let's go on a tea date. Yes, perfect.
You also,
Perfect.
do you have outlets, or do you plan to have outlets like, let's say, the likes
So
of?
we currently have 65 outlets in Surat which sell only loose tea. They do not sell. We do not sell any ready-made tea to drink or something like that. But we are only selling tea at the moment. Yes, in future we do plan to venture into different cafe modules as well.
You talked about blending, because in tea, blending is the key, and you're basically
Yeah,
procuring, pure Assam tea for Samera brand. I understand. Uh,
yeah.
so could you share certain insights into when it comes to tasting of tea? How is it different? Because as I understand, you know, जबान पे जब एक चीज लगता है तो फिर दूसरे का उसका taste is quite different. You can't make out. And why not
Yeah,
in this where people, their tasters who are quite well paid. So what
yeah.
goes into it? Can you just share about that knowledge?
So, so tea has a lot of aspects to it when it comes to tasting. One is the color, the liquor, the brightness of the cup, the infusion, um, how it is processed. So, if it depends upon a lot of the climatic conditions as well. So, if there is more rain, you get that smell in the tea. You get that smell in the taste. If it is the withering is not done properly, the fermentation is not done properly. So a lot of aspects go into selecting the best tea for the Samara blend.
So okay,
And
let's understand this. So when you're saying, when you pick up tea or tea leaves, uh, you don't actually go into a process of tasting them first, right? I mean, it's not like somebody may.
so
Uh,
what we do is we get the processed leaves in our office, and we make those teas and we taste it.
so how many
And after
typically,
tasting it,
typically how many tea varieties of tea would you taste before deciding on a particular blend?
around more than 400 to 500 cups.
And can you also blend it to your requirement, as in your taste, what you planning to do?
Yes, we do. We do. So when it comes to blending, and there's, like I told you, there are a lot of factors going into tea. How do you rate it? So what we do is we grade teas according to their characteristics, and that grades make a blend. So that is how the process and the blending works.
And you have basically you have a packaging facility, not necessarily a blending facility, right?
We do have a blending and a packing facility. All the packeters do have a blending in house. So everyone blends their own teas and packs it, and then we do the dispatching and all. Yes.
When you wanted to launch your new brand, did you have to?
Yeah.
Did it take a lot for you to convince your family, or was it an easy one?
Actually, it took me a while to convince my father that I wanted to venture out on my own. Uh, by God's grace, he was very supportive of my idea, and I had to convince him because he has put in his blood, his sweat into making this brand, and from here, venturing out and building something from the scratch in this particular time is highly difficult. But he supported us throughout, and today I think it has started to show.
I want to understand this, as Dheer, okay? We get a lot of queries from young entrepreneurs, people who are, part of a family business, but they want, launch on their own, or do something completely different from us, completely different from the scratch. Some of them are wanting to take over their family businesses and run it. For the benefit of them, if you have to share, what goes as a relationship when you go and talk to your elders, your family, your grandparents, your parents, and when you have to convince them about launching your own within, because what you did is you launched your own brand within the company, within the sector where your family was. Many of them don't want to do it, and many of them are there who are doing the same thing. How does that relationship work for the benefit of our young entrepreneurs?
I think there are two things when it comes to this. One is your passion. How much passionate are you about the brand that you are launching, and how much convincing power you have that you are able to convince your family, your elders that this is something that is good for the company, is going to help you. I think these two factors are very important when it comes to starting out something on your own, or building something within the organization.
So you also regularly attend international trade fairs. How important, or how does it benefit businesses like yours, especially somebody who's just started off 2 years ago?
It is highly important if you want to be a global brand. I think trade shows are one of the best mediums to connect and network with the right kind of people, like buyers, wholesalers, maybe even private label players. So I think that is one of the. I mean, I started doing trade shows also 3 years back. I think it has paid off wonderfully. So whatever I am today, wherever I've reached, is only because of we attending all these shows and constantly keeping in touch with people who we think are potential customers. So it was not an easy or a cakewalk for us, very honestly. We haven't got replies, at least like I've initiated conversations with a couple of them 3 years back. But even today, we have not gotten reply from them. It happens, but it has also helped us in getting the right clientele, getting the right people on board. And by God's grace, we have got top people in the industry in different parts of the world, and they are so passionate. There needs to be a passion in distributors as well, or your partners, for selling something which is new. And we have got the right kind of people.
So when you are selling it to when you're selling it to international partners, and
Yeah.
there are other brands also. What is that one selling? What is USP that you try to tell them, or you convince them that you are the one brand that they should go with other brands?
Generally, what our strategy is that firstly, whenever we talk to a client, we send them samples, or when we are in a trade show, we make them taste our tea. The first thing is they are confident into our product. If the distributor or the channel partner does not have enough confidence in our product, I think the ball stops there. You cannot go ahead than that. So when we tell them, you don't believe us, try our tea. And that is when they start to look positively towards us. And what happens is, after we attend one trade show, we meet them in another trade show. The talks keep on progressing there. And from there, we sign up the client. That is how the process of international business works.
So there is a process of trust building between
Yes, it is highly required.
so
Yes,
it's not
it is
that you
highly
go for
required.
one show. So it's not that you go for one show and then you bang, you get a deal and you're there.
No, no, no. It does not happen anytime. And in fact, when we first went to our trade show, the first trade show, we came back with zero orders. So me and my team, we were highly disappointed that, we didn't even, we invested so much money, but we didn't even get one order. So my father and my uncle, they tried to, talk us out, and we were like, be patient with it. It's not going to come in one day. You see them 2 times, 3 times in different trade shows. You go there, meet them, talk to them. That is when, you'll start progressing towards raising that pro forma invoice. It will not happen overnight. It will not happen overnight.
So I want to ask one more, one important question here for the, for the benefit of many of the young entrepreneurs out there. You had a decent family backing, so you could probably attend and invest that kind of money to attend an international show. Many
Yes.
small businesses, they have decent product, especially now with food and agriculture becoming a lot of people are taking to it.
Priority.
Yes, and a lot of educated youth are taking to farming and farm produce. Would it be good or advisable for them to attend these trade shows as a consortium? Because these are expensive, because you have to pay for travel, you have to pay for stay, you have to pay for the the stalls that you put in. I've been attending Gulf Food Festival for about 10 years now. So would it be
Wow.
advisable for the new businesses to kind of form a consortium and then go for such shows?
So Satish, the thing is, if anyone wants to do international business, it is highly recommend that you visit all these trade shows and participate. There are a lot of government subsidies, and like if you go via APIDA, if you're into agriculture and you are registered with APIDA as a seller, so APIDA gives you subsidized rates for booths. The state governments are giving you subsidized rates for booths, and there are different states. I mean, I'm being from Gujarat. I know that Gujarat government also provides you subsidy for your travel plus international shows. So we need to look at the government support here. That a lot of local governments and the trade associations are supporting. I think if we utilize this to the best advantage, then I think it is highly recommended by me, or I think anyone who's doing international business, that they have to attend a couple of trade shows in a year to start with their international business.
And you,
Like you've been visiting Gulf Food. So we are regularly exhibiting Gulf Food. There is another exhibition. Like there are a lot of exhibitions, small. So you can start focusing on what kind of markets do you want to cater to. So Gulf Food is the biggest show for Middle East, right? So if you want to target Middle East, then you have to be in Gulf Food.
so coming to you sell Samara tea online. Any particular reason
Yeah.
why it was only online, not through the regular distribution model?
So when we were studying the distribution channel, and the challenges that we were facing in distribution. So first we thought, let's get direct to the consumers' homes, and let's start making certain level of sales before we approach any distribution or any modern trade channel. Because what happens is, whenever we try to go to the distributor or the modern trades, right? So they will also want certain kind of a consumer base to put your product. So we thought, first let's create our consumer base in India, and then we can start going into the distribution and the modern trade channel, because it's obviously a highly expensive affair going into distribution, having so many people on board. So I think it was a calculated strategy to go D2C first.
Very interesting. So where do you see next 5 years for your company?
So the next 5 years are going to be very interesting for us, as we've just started reaching out to just being available in different markets. So when we see growth from there, when we see the offtakes from the shelves in different countries, I think Samara is going to be doing good volumes in coming years. In India also, we see D2C traction a lot. We are getting good amount of traction on our website. We are getting good sales from Amazon as well, and we are planning to launch our distribution and modern trade segment in, I think, coming years.
Great. Thank you, Dheer. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to someday.
Thank you so much.